I chose my teacher, Mark Dubois, because he was able to create a career from his voice. Mark is a kind, funny, and detailed man who uses techniques that his teacher taught him and that he has found helpful to make his students stronger vocalists. Mark has served as an inspiration for me to want to become a better musician. Over the 9 years, Mark has watched me grow up and mature. Throughout the years, Mark used his position to encourage me to work harder and expand on his own teachings independently. First question. What do you think the most fundamental skill that teachers should possess? Mark believed that flexibility was the most important skill that teachers should have. He said that this skill allowed him to quickly change lesson plans on the spot to benefit the person best. He also said that taking a personal approach is essential in making the students want to work with you. Mark said that he didn't want the students to think of him as a teacher in charge, but to think of him as a collaborator. Second question. What would you define music making as? Mark said that if you are not having fun, you are not singing well. Simple as that. Mark believed that the majority of his work should be focused on working with students to allow them to like their own voice. Mark said that this was an essential step to motivate the students to practice. Last question. I noticed that you and I were able to build a very strong relationship with one another. Do you think that building a personal relationship with your students is an important component of teaching? To explain this, I had to use a personal story. I had a challenging time motivating myself to go to lessons when I was younger. However, it was Mark's personality that encouraged me to want to return time after time. Mark noticed that I liked to laugh, so he altered his approach to be focused around good technique and having a good time. Students of today. I decided to interview 4 people. Each of these students attended Western, however, only one of the students is a member of the music faculty currently. I was interested to receive opinions from a variety of students from different educational backgrounds. I geared the questions towards the students' views on music. This was done in order to discover their past history in music, as well as to understand how they incorporate music in their lives today. I found that after I interviewed Mark, I still had questions remaining about his childhood, so I decided to base my questions to students around their influence to music growing up. My 4 students, Nicole, Pars, Matt, and Harrison. First question. What is your musical background? Each of the students that I interviewed had taken private lessons in addition to taking music classes in school, mostly until grade 9. I saw a trend amongst the students that did not attend university for music. They said that all of them completely abandoned any attempt to make music either before high school or during the early years of high school. Second question. Do you consider yourself a musician? I'll add on this a little bit later. Third question. Do you feel that your past musical experiences have any influence on your musical preferences today? Almost all the students that I interviewed considered classical music as the only genre that was legitimate in music. In turn, they said that they did not relate to this genre of music and therefore did not feel that their musical teachings benefited them today. Last question. What are your plans following university? I'll talk about this one later too. People who have gone to university for music versus people who have not gone to university for music. I found that the people that did not go to university for music thought of music as a set of skill sets, and unless they achieved those skill sets, they could not be a musician. Whereas the people that did go to university for music thought of being musical as a feeling. This was interesting because I found this more to be a testament to the individual's behavior to working than a way to peer into the skill sets of the students. Similarly to Mark, he was raised in a musical education system that focused on hands-on learning, whereas I believe that the other students responded likewise because that style of learning was embedded in everything that they produced. Continuing music as a hobby. Many students had a bad experience with music and therefore chose not to play. In particular, I found that many students abandoned their instruments because they felt that they could not succeed. My brother was really interested in playing the guitar, however, he felt he was not able to play fluently. His personality is to want to succeed at everything he does, so not being able to play well really damaged his experience with music. Whereas my sister does not feel comfortable playing the piano, however, she decided to possibly learn to play the guitar and experience music making once more. I think these differences in perspectives really showcase the students' personalities well. Plans following university. In addition, I found that people who did not go to university for music had a more definitive set of ideas for work following university in comparison to the students who did. I chose the photograph on the right to represent freedom and the unlimited amount of opportunities found in the music community. I thought this picture demonstrated Par's perspective very well. Parr said that his goal was to play as many gigs as possible, get a recording deal, go on a lot of tours, see a million faces, and rock them all. In contrast, the picture on the left shows two employees speaking. To me, this picture represents organization and definity. I think Matt's wishes following university represent this picture well. Matt said that he wants to get a master's degree in physio and then he wants to work in a sports clinic.